National news. Japan eases virus rule to allow more people at sports and movie venues. Japan on Saturday relaxed a rule limiting the size of crowds at professional sports matches, movie theaters and other events, in yet another sign of a gradual return to social and economic activities following the outbreak of COVID-19. National Science and Health. Japan's new health minister wants to beef up COVID-19 testing to prepare for a possible influenza outbreak in autumn or winter alongside the coronavirus pandemic. The Japanese government will beef up its testing system for COVID-19 in close cooperation with prefectural governments, new Health, Labor and Welfare Minister Norihisa Tamura has said. National news. Japanese woman, 117, becomes country's oldest person on record. Kane Tanaka, who is recognized by the Guinness World Records as the world's oldest living person, reached the age of 117 years and 261 days on Saturday to become Japan's oldest person on record. Olympics. Possibility of protests during Tokyo 2020 in spotlight amid rise of activism by athletes. The stakeholders of the Olympic movement face a challenge to strike a balance between embracing activism in sports and preventing the Games from turning into a stage for political demonstrations in Tokyo next year amid a surging protest movement against social injustice. Business. As COVID-19 persists, Japan looks to send in the robots as the subway roared into Tokyo's Tsukishima station. A gust of wind tossed up a stray face mask, sending it sailing above the platform. Asia Pacific. In shadow of China war games, Taiwan bids farewell to Mr. Democracy. Lee Teng-hui. Taipei. Taiwan bid farewell on Saturday to late President Lee Teng-hui, dubbed Mr. Democracy, for ending autocratic rule in favor of free elections and championing Taiwan's separate identity from China. Deep Dive. Episode 65. Where is Japan's green recovery? As governments around the world implement stimulus packages to shore up their economies against the effects of the coronavirus, the idea of a green recovery has grown in popularity. But in Japan, criticized for its unambitious approach toward climate change, the concept appears missing. Opinion. Editorials. Formidable challenges ahead as Suga era begins. Suga's career has been marked by hard work. He knows how to maneuver in a bureaucracy, but those efforts, until now, have been in the service of someone else's agenda. Editorials. Apparent poisoning of Alexei Navalny reveals Putin's world. Moscow must be punished for its actions, and Putin stripped of the delusion that he is untouchable. Commentary. Emily Oster working from home was fine for 6 months. Not anymore. The dream of doing your daily job from the comfort of your sofa may be about to end. Although COVID-19 is here to stay a while longer. MINXIN paid. Japan's geopolitical balancing act just got harder. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's unexpected resignation last month for health reasons has raised many questions about the legacy of the country's longest-serving premier. One of them is whether his successor, Yoshihide Suga, will be able to continue Abe's geopolitical balancing act as tensions. What's trending? Editors picks. COVID-19 news updates. Japan's top court rules tattoo artists don't need medical license. Taiki Masuda speaks at a news conference in Osaka in November 2018 after the Osaka High Court reversed a lower court's guilty verdict. Actress Sei Ashina found dead in suspected suicide. Actress Sei Ashina was found dead at her Tokyo apartment by family on Monday morning following what investigative sources believe was a suicide. Japan's new First Lady is a devoted wife who shuns the spotlight. Yoshihide Suga speaks after winning a seat in the Yokohama Municipal Assembly for the first time in 1987. What will Suganomics look like? Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga says he intends to work on his agenda of regulatory reform. Podcast Deep Dive. Episode 65. Where is Japan's green recovery? Last updated September 16, 2020. Japan Network updates directory of who's who in the world of business in Japan. Last updated June 8, 2020 Japan Network updates editorials. Dangerous tensions at the top of the world. Again, nationalist leaders, the general antagonistic public, military confrontations, and nuclear-armed neighbors. This is as dangerous a combination as can be imagined. Editorials. What will be Abe's legacy as the longest-serving prime minister? For someone who has held the top office so long, his accomplishments don't amount to a lot. Editorials. Work style reform needed at the government center, shackled by an outdated system. Japan's national bureaucrats are working dangerously long hours. Editorials. Bump up the target for increasing renewable energy. It's time to shift gears in the effort to restructure the nation's energy landscape. Editorials. Japan stalled nuclear fuel cycle policy. While the disposal of the spent nuclear fuel is a big challenge that Muse